Comic-Con intro. Here we are at Baltimore Comic-Con.
Yay!
We are with Jinx and Kenny. And Becky, of course.
Hi, Becky.
Hi, Becky.
Hi.
What's your name? I didn't hear
Becky's a little bit in shock. She just met John Leguizamo, but made it awkward.
But I made it so awkward.
How
and now
awkward did you make it?
I 100% thought I was referencing a deep cut, like something that he would really know, and then talking about it. And he was so polite and he's so nice. And I recommend everyone, if you get the chance to meet him, you're at a con and he's there. He's so lovely. And then I walked away being like, oh my God, I don't think he knew at all what I was talking about. And I seemed insane. But he was so nice.
Because Becky went deep and started telling him about like her surgery she had in 2011.
Not that. I was referencing things from like over a decade ago that I thought he knew maybe we had in common. And now
Very
I'm just
awkward
like,
moment.
I just definitely seemed like one of those crazy people that come and talk to you about things that you don't know what. But he was so polite, and he's a really good actor because he made it seem like
he's a legend, right? He is a legend.
He is.
Yeah.
So, Jinx.
Yes.
Have you met a legend and had an awkward encounter like that, like Becky has? I've had a couple myself.
No, I mean,
Because you're very cool. I bet everybody who meets you is like.
No, I have gone to a couple of cons and met, someone I met at one con. Actually, just kind of had it this time. I was at Fairfax and met somebody that's here now. Mm-hmm. And I told him, I'll see you in Baltimore. And so now I just told him, I saw you at Fairfax. I saw you at the other con. And he's just like, well, what school did I see you at? And I'm like, so you're a teacher? I'm like, no. and he's just like, and I said, no. I said it was a con. And he's like, which one? And I'm like, oh, this is getting really embarrassing.
I feel like I need to go get back in line.
You do need
and
to.
pay,
I think
pay for it something else to be like. I'm
say
sorry.
I really want to get this story. Mom would love it. Mom's from Puerto Rico also.
I'm gonna get another one for my mom.
Yeah.
And just be like, and I also need to explain that what I was talking about.
If you need to do it now, I respect.
I'm like having anxiety
do
about how weird I made that.
Do it. Okay. Becky's we'll continue.
We'll continue.
All right. So you came today dressed as Amanda Waller. And I have teed you up with the question. There have been a few different actors and versions of Amanda Waller.
Yes.
There is the James Gunn Suicide Squad.
Yes.
We don't talk about the other Suicide Squad movie. There's been the CW, there's animated versions. Is there one that speaks to you, or do you just love the character?
I love the character. The anime, I would say this, the anime speaks to me because she just has no fucks. None. And she's just like, okay, Ann.
Now some people, she's almost portrayed as a borderline villain. Do you see her as a villain or someone who is doing what is necessary to protect the world?
Doing something that's necessary to protect the world. And she is not going to apologize for it. So, like at the end of the first Suicide Squad, where they do the extra credits, and she's having dinner with Bruce Wayne, and she's like, yeah, you might want to work on your nighttime activities. And he's sitting there like, well, about that? She's like, duh. And she said it as if to say, who doesn't know about it? You're so obvious. So that part of
it. She can't be fooled. She's not, no one's putting anything past her. I love that.
Whereas Bruce thinks he's the master manipulator. He's got it. And she's like, no, dude.
All right. I love everything about it. Okay. Jinx, when you come to a Comic-Con with Kenny, our man in black here, the bodyguard, do you, is there a thing that is the thing you are excited for? Or an artist that you came here to see this weekend?
I think I come for the atmosphere. I come to look at the collectibles, because it's like, okay, I just started my wrestling action figure collections. I kind of got forced into it. So now I come.
I have a wrestling action figure collection.
Yeah,
too.
I have. I just started. My nephew, who is 11, he has over 100 figures.
Yes. So
And yeah.
so tell me, like, so me last year at this Comic-Con, I went over to Wild Wilsons, who were here. Really nice people. We had a couple people from their store come and do some of the show with us. Wild Wilsons, they had like a bucket of the old rubber ones. And I spent an embarrassing amount of money filling out my collection. But I've also bought a bunch online now. I don't need mine to be mint condition. Like the faces still have to be on because those rubber ones are made to be like they can protect your house with one of those. You can knock someone out with one of those rubber ones. So I love the old rubber ones, and then the other ones that I collected, and I have every single one. Again, I'm glad my wife doesn't see that part of the credit card.
Yeah.
Because I had to collect them on eBay. Was the Masters of the Universe crossover series, where they reimagined like Triple H as like the Skull King, like, and so he had like a big skull helmet and like Skeletor armor, and then Stephanie McMahon as Evil Lynn as like his, and then they had Becky Lynch as Tila and the Ultimate Warrior as He-Man. It was really cool. They made it in the retro He-Man character. And I play with my nephew too, so.
Yeah, so.
Not by myself, with my nephew.
Now,
We made matches.
Now, if I tell my brother, that means, now I'm going to spend the rest of my days trying to find the whole collection for him.
Okay.
So now I can't tell him. I'm going to tell him, but then he's going to go like, well, you told me, so that means you're going to go help me get them. So that's where me and my brother are as far as his collection goes. Because when I was at Fairfax, someone bought the what's that at Fairfax? Ric Flair.
Oh,
They
which
had Ric
version?
Flair. It was a Funko Ric Flair.
Oh, a Funko Ric Flair.
With the robe and everything.
Oh, wow.
I FaceTime my brother and said, what do you think? You want it? And he was like, I don't know. And I said, well, there's another Ric Flair here. I said, you want that one? He was like, let me think about it. I said, okay, I'm going to go over here and look around, and you call me back and let me know.
Did he say both?
No.
Okay.
And I finally talked to him, and I said, which one which one you want?
Wait, you got to see behind us for a second.
Oh.
We got a Macho Man.
Uh-oh.
We've got a Macho
You
Man.
got a macho man. You got a macho man.
Amazing.
Oh, that's cool. So yeah, he by the time I got back, it was gone.
Oh, that's the thing. You gotta I get very stressed when I walk around, and I'm like, oh, and when you're exhibiting, it's hard because you can't circle back in a couple of minutes. Like we gotta. I mean, I'm pretty sure no one's gonna rob us, but you don't want to get you don't want to get robbed.
Yeah.
All right, Jinx. I've asked this. You're actually the second person I've asked this type of question about today. Because you're a wrestling fan.
I am a fan.
Okay. If you were to make a wrestling biography, okay, like a movie, a biopic, right? Like I just heard they're making one about Texas Tornadoes family, about Kerry Von Erich's family. Whose biography movie would you want to see?
Oh, that is hard because
So many of these guys are terrible in real life, or?
well, some of them are just absolute jerks in real life, but that's not to say they're not good characters.
Right. They make movies about a lot of terrible people that make great characters and that you want to follow.
Yeah.
Like I actually would like to see a warts and all Vince biopic.
Yeah.
Because like tell it all. Like make it, bring in Oliver Stone to do it. Whatever. You know what I mean? Like
Oliver Stone
or Lynch.
Or
no, not Lynch. Fincher. Sorry.
Yeah.
Bring in someone like that and make it gritty with the warts and all, because that's a very interesting story of like.
But now, where would okay? But here's the thing: where would it be in their career? Would it be at the end? How they got to this point?
Well, now that you're saying it, I'm thinking now limited series, prestige series for HBO, so that we get the rise and the fall, so they can drop us some seeds of the of the flaws early on and the takeover and the ambition, and then like that Scarface ending that we're in right now.
Then you know who I would probably like to see if you're going to do something like that would be Daniel Bryanson.
Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, whatever he is
Yeah.
right now.
I'd like to see.
That's a heroic story.
Yeah, that's more heroic story. But I like him because he started off, and you know he was an indie guy, and everybody's like, "You're too small. You're never gonna make it to the big leagues," and blah blah blah. And he did, and he got over like crazy.
And that's the thing that I think. First of all, wrestling is not fake; it's planned, which is different. It's different. But what's not planned, and sometimes they try to make it happen, but what's not planned is getting over.
No,
And that is the part that's so exciting.
But that's also the part that I think tripped Vince McMahon up, because people who he thought in his mind were just gonna get over, and they didn't, and he kept forcing them down their throats. And the more he forced, the more people were like, "We're not." No.
Yeah. No, the audience isn't dumb. It's a very smart audience.
Very smart audience. So I think that was one of the things that people were so, which brought us not NXT, but which brought us
AEW.
Because people were so sick of, we don't want this person, Vince.
Right.
And even the wrestlers were like, let us be creative, let us do, and that's when you get the Bray Wyatts. That's when you get the Seth Rollins.
Right. When those guys are allowed to do their thing, the smart ones.
Right.
There are some very smart ones.
And there are some very dumb ones.
Yes.
They have to be part of a stable.
Right. Like they need.
They need to be part of a stable because they suck alone. You know, because there's a difference between the Alpha Academy and Swerving Their Glory versus the new one with Dick Mysterio, Rhea Ripley. That faction, I'm still kind of like, I don't know if I'm invested.
No. I really love the factions in AEW.
Yeah.
I love whatever Jericho's up to. I love whatever crazy faction he has put together is great.
It's just like, I'm here for it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to hear the audience. Because think about it. The audience sings you your song.
Right. That's the definition of, like, you can't plan that.
You can't plan it. You can't get over on that.
And that's the part where it is actual real competition, right? Like, that experience is just wild. Well,
and that goes back to DMD.
Right. Britt Baker, DMD.
Yeah, you can't fake that. And I don't think she could do the same thing she does in AEW in WWE. I don't think.
No. Not because there's so much more. I do wish AEW would expand the room that it's giving and invest more in the women's wrestling, because I think the great ones they have are great, and I think they should really I love I like what they're doing, but sometimes I feel like I'm seeing extra guys that it kind of looks the same when I would like to see some of these characters. I'd like to see more Red Velvet. I'd like to see
Jade Cargill is my new favorite.
Jade Cargill is
her body is like she's like an Amazon.
Oh yeah, and again, that's another example of someone who people were like, well, we're not sure. She's just strong, and now she's so over. She's learned the business. It's really cool. Well, look, Jinks.
Yes.
It has been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
And Kenny here at the show. Welcome to the Friday Night Movie family, and have a great con.
Have a great con.
You too.
Thank you.